see him on the upcoming season of The Orange is the New Black. Give it up for Ray Marshall! Come on!
You guys heard the New Black credit, y'all was like, oh. No, I don't want to order right now. I don't want to order right now. Hold on, let's see what's... And it's Orange is the New Black, not The Orange is the New Black. That's just a completely different show, he just said. Sounds like he's 80. What's that show that's on that box, that Orange is the New Black? That's all people do, they put that in front of every show. What's that Orange is the New Black? What you doing? You watching reruns of The Cops? That's The Cops? No, it's just Cops. It's been Cops for 80 years. There's no The. How we doing, West Nyack? That's where I am, right? Some Eastern, that's something. Here's something that I like to do for fun. Just figured I'd share it all with you guys. In my off time, I like to go into Manhattan, right? I like to find large groups of unassuming white people, such as this front row right here. I like to work my way into the midst of them. And when the conversation gets real quiet, I like to scream out, "What do you mean, you people?" They start apologizing, offering reparations, which is good. Gifts. Somebody tried to give me an iPod shuffle. I'm like, oh. No one uses that anymore. What are you, a racist? Did you just hear what someone reportedly said about me? I'm gonna need a better gift than that. Racism is a deep-rooted, funny thing. You could see when some people try to put their best foot forward when it comes to that, but they just don't know what they're doing. Case in point, February is Black History Month, for those of you who don't know, not going to mention any names. February is Black History Month, and in honor of that, certain restaurants that don't really serve that kind of food, they start offering ethnically appealing dishes for the month of February, but they totally mess it up. Like, you can see their heart is in the right place, but they don't know what they're doing. Like, I went into a restaurant last week, and there was a sign on the wall, and the first line read, "This week, in honor of Black History Month, our special will be chicken and waffles." Like, really? That's how you commemorate the struggle? I read another line down, and the next line down said, "Next week's specials will be watermelon and basketballs." I'm like, that's not even edible. You guys don't have one black employee to run this shit by? Like, what do you think of this sign right here? Can we use this? No, we don't eat basketball. Shit, how many times do I have to? I performed at a college in Georgia about a month ago, and I guess one of the students there didn't like my edgy racial stuff. So afterwards, after the show, we got into a conversation, and he just looked at me and he was just like, "Hey man, if you don't like it here, why don't you just go back to Africa?" Damn! I didn't get pissed off, I just hit him with a little knowledge. I was like, "Oh, you want me to go back to Africa? Well, I guess all black people should go back to Africa. You're right. Oh, and before we go, we're gonna take all the shit we invented while we were here. Like the traffic lights." He was like, "I don't care about no traffic light, we can get on without that, go on, get." I'm like, oh, one more thing. Hand over all the peanut butter. Hand over the peanut butter. Oh, I didn't know we invented that, huh? Should do your research. Enjoy your margarine and jelly sandwiches from now on. Hold on, don't be so hasty. Let's talk about this. Everybody loves peanut butter, that is the truth. I drive a lot for comedy shows. I go through a lot of small little towns. I was driving through a small town and I came across a traffic sign I thought was funny. I felt like I should just share it with you guys. driving through a small town, and there was a traffic sign that said, "Please keep your speed under 30 miles an hour. There's a deaf child in the neighborhood." And as soon as I read that sign, I felt like there should have been another sign a couple miles past it that said, "And as for the normal kids, fuck them! Fuck them! Drive as fast as you want." They all have regular motor skills. It's a stupid sign is what I'm saying. It should be like, "Slow down, children at play." That's what it is. There's a lot going on in the world of politics. A lot going on. Got some terrible ass candidates for president. Terrible. Trump was horrible for the obvious reasons. But I can't see myself voting for Donald Trump, because when I see something about somebody, like a little, anything about what they do, the mannerisms, if I don't like it, I'm totally turned off by a person. And the main thing I don't like about Trump is he talks with his hands. He's a hand talker. Like, you ever been talking to somebody who talks with their hands? Shit escalates quickly. You're gonna start World War III talking with your hands like that. Like, you can't vote for a hand talker. Donald Trump talks like a black woman whose hairdresser is late for their appointment. That's what Donald Trump talks like. That's what he talks like. First of all, I'd just like to say, hold up, wait a second, first of all, our appointment was for 12:30. You strolled in at 12:55. I'm a very important person, I have things to do. First of all, and let me just say, hand talker, stop! Another thing I don't like about him is he insults people, but he can't stand to be insulted back. I don't like a person like that. Everybody in here, if you got a group of friends, everybody in here knows that one person that everybody's just cracking on each other, and then you get to that person and they reply and they fucking go nuclear. Like, why can't you just take a joke? That's what Donald Trump was like last week during the debate. Jeb Bush was just answering a question. He's like, "I don't think Donald Trump is qualified. He doesn't have a long political record, and he doesn't have experience in office. He's not qualified to be president." Thank you, Jeb. Donald, you care to reply to that? George W. Bush calls 9/11. Boy, what? First of all, let me just say, it's proven his brother caused 9/11. Like, what are you saying right now? He went nuclear. I was gonna vote for Bernie Sanders. I don't know, maybe he'll win me back. But I saw him do something that reminded me how old he was. Because he talks real progressive, you forget he's 74. And then he did something that was 74. I saw him point. He was having a Barbara Walters interview, and he pointed at Barbara Walters, and he pointed like an old man. Like, that is super old. It's like, let me tell you something, Barbara. If you're working 40 hours a week, you should not be in poverty. Are you casting a spell, Gandalf? Like, what are you doing? Your hand looks like, "I come to you now, at the dawn of the tide." Can't keep his hand straight. Can't keep his hand. Now vote for him. Maybe he'll win me back one day. Mel was up here earlier talking about how he joined the gym. I joined the gym too recently, and keyword is recently. The results haven't showed up yet. I paid for ground shipping. I haven't got it. Didn't want to spring for the next day, but whatever. The hardest part about losing weight is mental, right? It's harder mentally than it is physically, because you go through 3 mental stages when you decide you want to lose weight. The first one is you go all out. You're like, look, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week. I'm gonna lose a pound a day. I'm gonna be ripped, go hard or go home. Then like a month goes by, you get tired, you get sore. You're just like, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. What do I do? What do I do? Let me pace myself. Let me give Rick a call. I haven't seen Rick in a while. Let me go grab some drinks. Then like 4 months into it, when you plateau, and no matter what you do, you can't lose any more weight, you're just like, well, maybe people just need to like me for me. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Sony skin deep, yada yada, etc., etc. I had to stop going to Starbucks. I love Starbucks. Everybody love Starbucks in here? I had to stop going. Because I'm like, all right, I'm going to do everything healthy, which means I'm going to cut out going to Starbucks. So that was one main reason I stopped going. The second main reason is Starbucks turns you into a snob. Whether you realize it or not. It makes you a snob, and I didn't even know I was being that way. And the reason for it is the language. As soon as you get in, it's a completely different language in Starbucks, right? You know. When I get in, here's my order. My order is, let me get a triple skinny vanilla latte venti. That's what I want. Do you hear that? You hear a nice little at the tongue? And then after you say it, you just want to go, You turn into a snob going into Starbucks. You ever hear somebody in Starbucks that doesn't know the lingo? And they try to order like a commoner? These guys are high-fiving over my joke. I didn't even... You look down on people that don't know the lingo. There's a person in line ahead of me like, yeah, let me get a large coffee. I'm like, oh! Turn to my friend Stavros, did you hear? He wants a large coffee. Excuse me, sir, I think maybe Dunkin' Donuts may be more your fat. Perhaps you may want to rethink your purchase? One of my favorite shows that I like to watch on basic cable is a little show called Locked Up Abroad. Anybody ever heard of that? Anybody ever watch that show? If you haven't watched it, the premise of the show is it's people who were born in first world countries. And they try to make some extra money by smuggling drugs in third world countries. And they always get caught in that third world country. But the craziest thing is when they're getting interviewed, they're all free. Like, why are you not in jail? So you watch all the episodes thinking you're gonna hear a crazy story about how they get out, and then at the end of the episode, he was just like, yeah, well, they caught me with like 15 kilos of hash, and told me I had to do about 20 years, but my grandma just wrote a letter to the warden, and here I am. Did 2 years. Like, does your grandmother work for the State Department? No, she just a strongly worded letter, that's all. Let me out after 2 years. Or this one, I had about 40 pounds of cocaine in my suitcase and they busted me and told me I had to do about 15 hard years, but the prison just got full and they let me go. Here I am. That's about the long and short of it. They let me go.